Hi, everyone. Hi, can everyone hear me? Yeah, okay, great. I don't have a microphone, so I will use my naturally talkative voice to try and project. So do shout if you can't hear me. So, good morning, everyone. I am so pleased to welcome you all here, and it's so lovely to see so many familiar faces amongst you all. This is going to be a really special breakfast event, and I'm so proud to be here from Baloo. So, first of all, I want to thank you for creating a little bit of time in your very busy schedules. I know time is so precious these days, so we really appreciate you carving out this time. And also to the team at Cubit House who are over there, but to Lorna and Sang and Maddie for hosting us today in this really special setting. We are really honoured to have such a special setting for today. So, before we dive into why we're here, just a quick note on what's ahead. So there are some cold breakfast options in front of you, so please dig in. Do not be polite. Dig in. Don't worry about the noise. This is a breakfast event, so please crack on. Then I will be inviting Jen from Baloo and Dennis and Ron up on the stage for you to hear about the impact that we are all making in the field. I know you're going to be really inspired by what they tell you today. And I have to say, if anyone is inclined to cry, I really advise you getting some tissues because they make me go every time. Nat, my co-CEO, will probably have bets as to when I will go in the day. Then we will have some closing comments from Nolan, who is our operations and supply chain director. And then we'll be serving hot food. So hot food will probably come out at about 9:45. And then you'll have a bit of time just to chat, to connect with each other. That's what these events are for as well. They're to hear inspirational stories, but also to connect with each other and learn from each other in the industry. And then we will be trying to leave here at about 11. So we will be probably gently nudging you. 11 toilets are downstairs. There's no fire alarms that I've been told about, so run. So that's it. So after the housekeeping stuff, let's talk about why we're here. Today is all about you. I will avoid singing the song, that's for an evening cocktail event. But today is all about you. It's about our valued customers, our suppliers, our partners. We would not be here if it wasn't for you, and we really want to give you our most sincere gratitude for everything you do with your ongoing support for Baloo. We would also really love to give you this unique opportunity to hear from two remarkable individuals of Dennis and Ram, who will really bring to life the impact that we're able to create together in the field. So at Baloo, some of you will have heard this many times, but it never gets boring telling you. So Baloo, we've got a really simple purpose. Our purpose is to change the way the world sees water. Simple but very powerful. So in 2007, Baloo decided to do business very differently to create impact both environmentally and socially. And in 2011, we partnered with WaterAid. And since then, with that partnership, we have decided to give 100% of our profits to WaterAid. So 100% of our profits, what does that mean today? So we have given WaterAid, with your support, £6.1 million, and we're going to hear about the impact today of what's happened with that. But that extraordinarily huge amount of money from a small business is genuinely only possible because of everyone in this room. You have consciously chosen Baloo in the past, and you continually choose to stop Baloo, to support us in whatever shape or form is right for your business. And that doesn't go unnoticed. You know, we know that you have got multiple brands, multiple ways that you could support other ways of, you know, dealing with water. So we are just really grateful that you have decided to stop Baloo. So, thank you. You know, with that money, what we've been able to do together is to help people get access to clean water, to sanitation and hygiene. You know, thanks to you all, children can actually stay in school. families can thrive, and really importantly, wider communities can actually look forward to a safe and healthy future together. That hasn't been possible, and Dennis and Ron will bring that to life in a way that I can't. But certainly, in the past, people have had to spend time walking for hours to get water that was not safe or not clean, and would mean that people weren't able to thrive, children weren't able to go to school. So that will be brought to life in a way that I can't. So I guess, your commitment to Baloo really embodies what we're here to do today. It's all about service purpose. It's about people connecting brands and businesses with heart at your core. And, the impact that you're making is creating meaningful change every day. Here in the UK, this is my final point, but here in the UK, it is so easy to take for granted our privilege of turning on a tap and getting clean and safe water. Yet, this is a basic human right that is inaccessible to 698 million people in the world. I mean, 698 million people in the world is phenomenal. And the fact that they have not got access to clean and safe drinking water is just not acceptable. But with your help, we've actually been able to help 410,000 people gain access to clean drinking water. So, it's a huge thank you. That's why we're here today. We want to do more. We want to have bigger figures. We want to do everything we can to give WaterAid more money so that we can all create impact together. So, that's enough for me. Let's get on to the proper part. So, anyway, one final thank you, because I genuinely can't say it enough. Thank you for all your support. I'm going to pass over to Jen, Dennis, and Saran, and their stories of hope and resilience, and all the field stories that you're going to hear are going to warm your heart and just will really hopefully celebrate the change that we are all bringing together for the world. So thank you, everyone. Enjoy your breakfast and enjoy this really special session.
Ready?
Yes.
So can everyone hear me okay? I will also project to the back of the room. But firstly, again, just echo, thank you, Jan, for setting the scene so beautifully and reminding us of sort of why we're all here. Just to introduce myself, my name is Jen and I'm from the customer relationships team at Baloo. I've recognised some familiar faces, but just to say hello. And as Jan said, we are joined by some very, very special guests, so Ram and Dennis, and I will not steal any more of your thunder and will just allow you to introduce yourselves. So Dennis, if you want to go first, say who you are and how you kind of got into working for WaterAid.
Hi everyone, my name is Dennis Lupenga and I come from Malawi. It's a small little country, southern part of Africa, so that's where I come from. I joined WaterAid in 2016 in June, and one of the reasons that propelled me to join WaterAid is the impact WaterAid was doing in Malawi, and I wanted to be part of that change. I saw how WaterAid was transforming communities in Malawi, and I just wanted to contribute in whatever I can using my skills. So that's how I got to join WaterAid. Thank you.
Amazing.
Namaste. My name is Saran Tamang, but that's really mouthful. You can just call me Ram. Just one word, one syllable. It's easy to remember. So I'm from Nepal, and I've been with WaterAid for 2 years now. The reason I really love working with WaterAid is that we don't talk about big changes. We don't talk about changing the world. We don't talk about transforming life. We really start with very, very basic, something like water. And because I grew up in a village and I know water shortage and like what that impacts life and how it affects people. And because of waterborne disease in my village, I've also lost a sister very close to my heart. So like that's very personal to me. And I really love working at WaterAid because it's we know that change really starts with small, something very fundamental, something very basic, like water. We don't talk about transforming the world, ending war, poverty, anything. Just from there we start, and we know it goes miles away. That is really the reason I really enjoy working at WaterAid.
Thank you, and also I'm really sorry for your loss. That's like moved me slightly. Sorry, just compose myself. I knew this was going to be emotional. I didn't think I was going to start crying after the first question. So thank you for sharing that, but also if you wouldn't mind, I know we've got the slides that have been rolling on the screen are photos that Ram and Dennis have taken, and I'm just going to give them the space to talk to some of the projects that they're working with. So Ram, if we start with you, and I will just go back to the beginning of the slides for you. I'm going too far the other way.
I think many of you know that Nepal's capital is Kathmandu, and when we think of a country's capital city, we think it at least have some basic facilities, right? But let me tell you, this photo is not very far from Kathmandu. It's from Lalitpur, which is maybe less than 1 hour drive away from the main capital city. And the girl in the photo, her name is Ria, and she's 18 years old. And in the photo, she's just carrying some water pitcher and a bamboo basket, and she's walking 15 minutes away to the nearest water source near the river to carry water. That is her daily life. She wakes up in the morning, the first thing she does is like go collect water. And sometimes the water, because there's only one water source in the village, it can get very busy. She has to stay in long queues, and it takes like sometimes 15 minutes, 1 hour. It depends on the season, basically. And she has to do this walk for water. It's not very far, but it consumes time. It can take, one trip can take 1 hour when there is long queue, and she has to do that for 3 or 4 times a day. I'm talking about Ria here, but there are many small children who does the same. There are like children as young as 7, 8, 9 years with small buckets their size, and the first thing they do is carry water. Then they get ready for the school if they are studying, and they come back from school, and guess what they do? They do the same walk for water. So this is Ria, and in Nepal, the topography is very, it's not plain, so you have to go uphill, downhill, and it's really, when children have to fetch water, they are really losing out on precious time that they could be doing something else, like being children. They could be playing around, they could be learning, they could be spending time with their families, they could be just being stupid like children, like how they are being very playful, but they don't have the time. They have to be adult while they are children, and I think that really impacts the whole life, the way they grow up, the way they see life, and it's small things like that that really brings the change people's life and the way they perceive the world.
Next one.
Next. And this is another community in Dolakha, which is in a little east of Nepal. And I was in this community very recently, like 3-4 months ago. And in this community, WaterAid actually completed working on the project 6 years ago. We handed over the water project 6 years ago. But I was there recently to see the changes, how it is going for them after 6 years, and I was really happy to see that all the systems that WaterAid had installed there, all the water system, water management system, everything was working 100% as it was intended. So in that way, it's really we really care for sustainability. We really care for like. How long our work lasts. We want it to last for the next 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. In this community, I made small children first. I was there on Saturday morning, and her name is Kamala, and we just talked, and I asked her what's her since it was Saturday. I asked her what's her plan for the weekend was. And her answer was very simple. Like, she just told me, I don't know, maybe I'll pick berries. It was a bayberry season, so like, yeah, they love bayberries. Maybe I'll play with my brother. And this is the photo of her brother. Her brother and Kamala climbing trees, playing around. And the one big thing that I noticed there is, unlike in the previous community, children had a chance to be children. They could just jump around, they could run in the field, they can climb trees, they can do anything. They have time to be children because they have water at home. They don't have to take long journey to fetch water, and that time they could be doing anything that they enjoy doing. So next slide.
Just before we move on, so is this with the water system that's in place here?
Yeah.
Is it just one for the community, or is it multiple in the area?
Yeah, very good question. So with WaterAid, we work for like one house and one tap. Each household will have one tap. So previously there was maybe 20 years ago, it was very common for one whole community to have one tap and everybody visiting that water point. But now, since the past 10, 15 years, since then we have been working on bringing one tap per household. So every household can have tap in their own house. They don't have to walk any further.
Thank you.
So yes, it just brings home the point that like children, they have like with water access, they can be bonding with their family. They can be preparing for school, and she is Kamala's mother. They are obviously having really good daughter and mother time. And I asked her mother the same question, like what she was doing at the age of her daughter, what she was doing when she was 6. And her answer was basically very different. She said, oh, I have to walk that far into that hill to collect water when I was 6, when I was my daughter's age. And of course, she doesn't anymore. But like you see the impacts in the generation. Kamala's mother spent time fetching water when she was her daughter's age. And now, like she has the daughter, and her daughter has time to play, time to be child. She doesn't have to be adult in such a young age. That's that we see the impact in generation is really slow. It's difficult to see maybe, but since like her daughter has such a different childhood, having time to play, having time to learn, having time to be with family, her childhood is really different, and the way she grows up to be a young adult person will obviously be very different because of all the opportunities that having free time to be children provides.
So I guess one of my questions was going to be what's one thing that you've learned from the communities that stayed with you, but it sounds like that sort of generational change even after a few years is really important. But is there anything else that you have learned from the communities that you work with that kind of, I suppose, it gives you hope for the next generation or just within the community like now?
I just think that love brings everyone together. For this community, I just see family. They have their own problems, they have their own struggles, but the older generation, they work hard, so they can raise their children. They can give children the better life, and that just love just brings everyone together, and it drives resilience as well. They are really motivated to be a better person, to bring more to make life easier for their children and grandchildren, and that itself shows such a lot of resilience, and I really admire that.
Amazing. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing. Dennis, over to the same kind of question to you. So I'll just move the slides on so you can talk to your stories from the communities that you work with.
Okay, thank you so much. I'll give a brief background about Malawi. Malawi is maternal health, I'm very. I've worked with hospitals for quite some time, and I've had the passion, especially for women and their dignity. So of late, I was in a district called Chitipa. It's only the furthest north of Malawi. It borders Tanzania and Zambia. So this particular hospital saves a population of around, I think it's
Second slide.
around 25,000 people. But the hospital itself does not have running water. And the problem that comes with it is that the delivery equipment is not sterilized because it has to be boiled. You can see even the sanitation facilities, they're not in good shape. It's really hard to get water and to get those toilets working. And one thing that really hit me when I was there is there's this need to have what we call guardian shelters in hospitals. I don't think you have them here, garden shelters. In Malawi, what happens is that the distance is quite long. Like to go to access maternal health in these health centers, the distance is long. So you find there are these situations where a lot of women would deliver along the way, and in that process, either the mother or even the baby loses their life. A few years ago, the statistics across the country in Malawi was 100,000 babies or deliveries. 100,000 deliveries. Out of that, 1,110 babies died because they could not access the healthcare facilities in good time. And one of the things that has really helped to bring those numbers down is the waiting area. So what we as WaterAid and other non-governmental organizations have done in conjunction with the Malawi government is to make sure that women, when they are at least 7 months pregnant, they go and stay at a hospital so that they are looked after. And if there are any sort of complications, then they can be referred to a district hospital, which has got better facilities to handle the situation. And you can see in the next picture, yes. This is the road that leads to that particular health center, and it's full of danger. When we were going there, I was with my colleague when we were visiting this facility. We saw like a lot of snakes crossing the road. They were like big ones, maybe as big as that bottle, the Beru bottle. It was like, and I was like, every time I would try to look around, I was like, big snake, like that. But this is because you can see it's like a lot of trees and all that. It's like it's full of danger, and because the women don't have the guardian shelter in place due to lack of water, they find themselves traveling through this road when labor has already started, and there is no reliable transportation here. You have to go through. You have to use like a bicycle. You are lucky if you get a motorcycle. So I caught up with Sarah. The next slide.
Yeah.
She was overwhelmed because this baby is called Anga Onse. It was actually the grandfather who gave that name to the baby. Anga Onse says Anga Oceanata means all my children passed on or died. That's what that name means. It was given as an honor to the previous children who had died. She has had 3 children before Anga, and all of them passed on due to those challenges. And Anga, I called this baby miracle baby because she almost died. When she was there was no electricity, so she could not breathe. So as the skin was turning blue, miraculously, the power was restored, and she was able to be resuscitated. So that's why I called her a miracle baby. But the grandfather said, "No, this one is Anga Oceanata," because of what happened. It's just one of those stories where when you visit such communities, it just shows the profound impact of having water at a health facility, because it literally means a difference between life and death. When I was there as well, there were these 2 women whose babies were referred to another district, and because there was no ambulance, the babies were put on a carrier behind a motorcycle, and they had to go all the way 120 kilometers to the district hospital. Unfortunately, they didn't make it. I know the bumps and all that. So that's just one of the instances or examples of how, if they were there in good time at a waiting area, and maybe, just maybe, those babies would have had a chance to breathe, a chance to live, and a chance to enjoy life. A good example is at...
Next slide.
Yeah. So this is the baby, the one who made it. I was like holding the baby. You were so like... Yeah. At Ntondo, where we're working as WaterAid, what we've done, we've completely transformed the entire community, and we've changed how women experience maternal services. There's running water. Women don't have to go out to walk long distances, unlike other areas. It's available there. The rate of infections greatly reduced because there is less contamination. In the next slide, you can see what we've done as WaterAid. There are those sanitation facilities which are well taken care of. I met the lady on the top right corner. Her name is Priska. When I met her, she also shared her story of when during her first pregnancy, this facility, there was no, before we did all these interventions, she was there, and then because she could not stay there, she came late, and when she was diagnosed, they were saying, you need to go to this hospital, you need like help right now. And on the way, she had fainted, and when she reached this hospital, the baby was already dead. So this time around, she was there in good time, and when I had left, because we had shared contacts, she told me that now she has a healthy baby. It just shows the difference, what it makes, like having women there and being, well taken care of whilst they're there. And we also train local entrepreneurs, mechanics who maintain and fix those systems so that they don't go back to the old situation. So as WaterAid, I feel there's quite a lot that we're doing, and it is all thanks to you, WaterAid supporters, especially Belu. I know you do quite a lot for WaterAid. I think like in my own opinion, you are the superhero who wears no cape, because I've seen the countless babies who have been saved through our intervention. It's not like every day you actually see that you have saved this baby or that baby, but all I can say is that you deep down your heart, you need to know that the work that we're doing, it is saving lives. Thank you.
Thank you, Dennis. I just have to say that we are definitely not the superheroes. You guys are the superheroes. But just before we move on to the next question, because obviously we're dealing with mothers and maternal health care, how do you sort of build trust in that relationship? Because obviously it's, that you're kind of with women at sort of quite a tense time, and obviously there's a lot of loss there. So how do you sort of manage that when you're trying to share their stories so we can hear it?
Yeah, so usually, I know there are a lot of people who work in hospitals and also NGOs. What we usually do, we don't work in isolation. We work with government officials. That builds trust, because you cannot just walk in like in a mandatory ward and you are like, let me have an interview with you. They'll be like, who are you? Where do you come from? So we work with government officials, and they are the ones who introduce us to these women. He's coming. He's working with WaterAid. They are working with us. They would like to improve the water and sanitation facilities around this place. So that already builds the rapport between us. And also, for me, it's not just about identifying like a woman and then you start interviewing. It's all about getting to know each other. So before you pull out that camera and all that, it's about sitting down. Sometimes you find them like they are chatting, or maybe they're doing some chores. You just sit down next to them and you share a laugh, a joke or two. How are you doing? This and that. So that way you build that relationship, and then they open up. I mean, the story like with Priska telling me about how she lost her baby, it wasn't easy. It came after we've had that friendly conversation.
Thank you very much. Like those stories are so moving. I can see Jan's gone. I thought that was coming quickly. But I think some of the words that you use, even in the earlier bits about why the reason you joined, about the kind of having that sort of, it's the basic thing to have clean water and sanitation, both of you, and like making like a really simple intervention. And I think that's something really powerful that we can all take forward today from this conversation, that, like you're saying, you don't need to change the world. Like, I mean, I know I've got Change the Way the World Sees Water on my t-shirt, but we're not changing the world like by massive actions. It's taking those small actions, and by choosing to support Baloo, like we're able to do the work that we're able to do with WaterAid. So I just want to say a massive thank you. But to both of you, I suppose, what keeps you motivated when you're kind of working with communities? Because obviously, Ram, you were talking about the difference between the two, and one still sort of not quite had that same intervention. And I guess there's still women that are still losing their children. But for both of you, you can tell me who wants to go first, but what keeps you sort of hopeful working in kind of quite like tough situations?
I'll go first. It's because we work with the communities. I can get to be there. I can interact with the people there. I can talk with them. I can listen to their stories. I can also tell mine. And at the same time, we visit different communities where we work and where we haven't yet started working. And it's, I think seeing is believing, they all say. So I really get to see lots of communities. I really get to see lots of families. I really get to hear lots of stories from them. And I really personally get to see the impacts that the work brings. It really transforms generations. It's a big word, but really it starts from such a small thing. And the change is very visible, maybe not immediately, but in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years, in the next 20 years, it is definitely there, because small things bring such a big change in personal life. And I've seen communities where we work and we brought water, and how that has changed, how that has helped families to earn livelihood, to make, to take better care of their children. And I've seen communities where water access is a fairy tale, where there is no sanitation and hygiene, where like lots of works need to be done. So seeing it from my own eyes, seeing the impact, seeing the difference is really what motivates me, what makes me keep going, and what I really enjoy seeing and telling those stories.
Dennis?
For me, what motivates me, I think, is uh, the change that I see happening to the people that I've interacted with over the years. Um, when I, like I said, the way that I interact with the committee members or people that I work with, it's not just about transactional type of interview where you ask questions
Yeah.
and then off you go. You build the relationship, and when you actually see that change happening, uh, you have this personal connection to that individual. You have it's like you are happy and proud to see like a friend
Yeah.
whose life has been changed or transformed in a way. So that really motivates me quite a lot.
Thank you very much. And then this is just the final question before we open it to the room for any questions. But this might be quite a hard one to do, so I'll give you a bit of time to think. So if you had to describe what clean water means to your community in one word or one sentence, can you share what that would be? But yeah, I'll give you some time to think.
Maybe I can start.
Yeah.
I would say change.
Change.
Yeah. Whenever we do any sort of intervention, there's a big change that happens.
Yeah.
I'll give an example. Of course, I've already shared what happened here, but I can give a different example of we've had of late an intervention in Mangochi, called Chinganji, where we brought in a water system,
Yeah.
and then we had water taps distributed across. And what that did was that it really improved the livelihood of the community members. They are aware of cholera cases before, but now those cholera cases are not like a thing of the past.
Yeah.
So meaning people are no longer dying due to cholera because the hygiene aspect is there, and also it has attracted other people who are traders, and the community is growing. Unlike the neighboring communities like in Kampeko, which is the neighboring district, where I witnessed an entire village migrating, like leaving everything behind just because there was no water.
Yeah.
So it does make it a difference. It changes everything.
It's that sort of ripple effect that WaterAid talk about so much, that one intervention and then it spreads out into the community. I love that. So
Yeah, good question. but I think clean water, if I have to put it in one word, I would say that clean water really means hope. In a sense that it really gives hope when your fundamental essentials are taken care of. You can really work to make improvements, to make progress in your life. So going back to the same community, Kamla's mother, I asked her, had there been no water 6 years earlier, like had WaterAid not worked in the area, do you think your daughter would be living differently? And her answer was yes, because her daughter would also, if there is no water, her daughter would have to live the same childhood that she herself did, like fetching water over a long distance, and it's such a remote area, and the walk for water really is very difficult. So her daughter would not be having time to play. Her daughter would not be bonding with her brother. Her daughter would not be laughing and like being silly, having that playful nature. It really changed everything for the daughter, and I see that. I see clean water brings hope because now the daughter really has lots of hope for the future because she got to grow up in an ideal environment where there is plenty of time to be child, to learn, to grow. And the difference between how the mother lived her childhood and how the daughter is now living her childhood, that really brings hope for the entire life, entire generation, entire communities of children growing up that way. So it's just like, yeah, hope
Love
for
that.
me.
Love that from both of you. So I'm going to open up to the floor, but I just want to say a massive thank you for sharing those stories and for the stories of the people that you're both representing by being here today. I often go into customers and share part of that story, and I also think it's so much more impactful hearing it from the horse's mouth. I do my best, but I think it's way more impactful with you guys. So just quickly, just going to open it up to a couple of questions from the room if anyone, or a question or a reflection if you want to share anything from what you've heard today. Don't be shy.
I'll go first if no one else is going. I have had the pleasure of hearing some more stories from WaterAid, but quite a lot of people are hearing this for the first time, and I wonder if it's worth just putting into context what happens when the water comes in, education. It's not just about the actual water, it's about the surrounding support. So just touch on it for everyone here.
Okay, I'll give an example. So like at a community level, where we drill the boreholes, the first thing that we do is to have a water point committee. So it's a committee-led committee. It is we work hand in hand with the chiefs, the local chiefs. They're the ones who identify individuals who are very active in that particular community. And those individuals are trained on how to maintain the borehole. So they receive the technical training, like how to dismantle the borehole, what happens when they hear certain clicks, how to maintain all that. And also in our design, we also incorporate the sustainability element. So for instance, like establishing a vegetable garden next to the borehole, where the proceeds from that garden is used to buy spare parts for the borehole. So that ensures multi-generational service provision of that infrastructure. So so this is one of the approaches that we do to ensure that our work is sustainable. And also within that committee, usually it's more than 10 people who are trained, of which 6 of them are women, because traditionally women are the ones who are like doing the cooking and all that. So they're the ones who are mostly impacted in terms of collecting water, for instance. So this is why we try as much as possible to empower the women so that they should take care of that facility. And in terms of the government, on the government side, so like in healthcare centers, what we're doing is also to work with the government to ensure that the national budget, they include not less than 5% of funds, which goes towards the maintenance and also the infrastructure of sanitation facilities and provision of water, because that's essential. So we've been able to do that, and the past 5 years, we've even went further to lobby to have a standalone Ministry of Water and Sanitation. It's just now that we've just had elections, so all the ministries have been dissolved. So now we are still lobbying for the next government to reconsider maintaining that ministry, because we've had a lot of progress made after that ministry was established. So these are some of the things that we do to make sure that the intervention that we're doing is not only dependent on, for instance, WaterAid, but also the government is taking part, and also the communities are also taking ownership of the infrastructure.
Any other questions? Thoughts, reflections? Anyone?
I have a question actually regarding, do you find that your support teams, are they growing? Are there more people on your side getting involved? Are the teams small, or?
Do you work with many other people in country, or is there more people in the, or is it just sort of, yeah?
Yes. So we have WaterAid country program, for example, WaterAid Nepal, and we also work with partners since like we cannot implement the project directly because of some government policy. We support other organizations to other let's not organization partners. We have lots of partner staff as well who oversees the implementation of the project, and we constantly monitor them. We constantly provide them technical support that comes through the wider knowledge that water federations is able to give. So there's lots of partners. We work with government as well. We also work with communities. So like many during the construction project, many community members they become employed as well. So they also become part of the partner. So it also trickles down to local economy. So yeah, we work with implementing partner, we work with communities, we work with government, we work with overall WaterAid Federation. So yeah, there's lots of people involved.
Yeah. Likewise, in Malawi, we've partnered with the different organizations, like the Hunger Project in Zomba, where our work in early childhood development centers involved the construction of sanitation facilities, whilst the Hunger Project was bringing in the element of nutrition, for instance. So we would blend our interventions. So like the project, the initiative that I had referred to, like the vegetable garden, they would come in as well to say, how do we make this school more, like more healthier, sort of. So they would bring in things like pawpaw trees, this and that, so that the children have food when they're at school. And we've also worked with Mary's Meals. I think it's well known here in the UK as well. So Mary's Meals, they also provide porridge in early childhood development centers. But you cannot have that if you don't have sanitation facilities. So we also work hand in hand with.
The partnership is very specialized. For example, we also work with England Water, and they provide their technical expertise to bring the system in Nepal, especially the safety and maintenance and the sustainability. And also we also partners with specific organizations that specialize in something different than WaterAid. For example, there are organizations that work on specific menstrual health and hygiene. When we have such components, we partner with them. So everyone really brings their expertise together, and that's what creates really strong project. So.
I think one more, and then I'll hand over to Nolan if there is any more questions. Yeah.
Could you share with us how you came to know of and then work for WaterAid?
So how did you how did you hear about WaterAid, and then how did you start working for WaterAid?
I can go. So before WaterAid, I was working for an organization that really looks after children. So I was working with children education, family well-being, and overall child development. And I was working in a different area in the far west of Nepal, not in the capital. And at that time, it was also a personal need to move to capital because I wanted to be closer to my family after spending 4 years away from them. So it was a personal need. So I was really looking for different opportunities as well. And WaterAid is actually, since like WaterAid is also such a popular organization, and we really have heard about WaterAid, and it's really common for us in the development sector to hear about other organizations as well. So just in the moment that I was looking to be closer to my home in Kathmandu, this opportunity, I came across these opportunities, and I was really fortunate to be part of WaterAid in that sense. It just aligned with my personal goals and like what I really wanted to be doing, and I really enjoy this role.
Yeah. For me, I used to be a communication consultant for different organizations like UNICEF, Save the Children, Tiveta, Farm Radio International. Yeah, but in my line of work, I used to come across WaterAid quite often. And this other day I was like, let me Google these guys. They are like everywhere, you know, like, and yeah, and I think I developed some sort of interest with WaterAid because I saw how much work they were doing, how much impact, and I think I was just drawn to be part of the team because of how magnificent they were in terms of bringing change on the ground. So yeah, here I am, 9 years, still working for WaterAid.
Thank you very much. And thank you for those questions. I'm just going to hand over to Nolan now to draw us to a close. We'll just stay up here for a little bit and then we'll sit, once Nolan's finished it, we'll sit down. We'll just stay here for 1 minute.
Yeah, hi everyone. Nolan Wright, Supply Chain Operations at Blue. Just come up behind the car. So, what can I say? So that's pretty remarkable stories that we've heard today, and I hope everyone in the room feels a little bit inspired by what can be done, particularly through collective action. It's definitely not something that any individual can do on their own. It does only really happen when we all come together. Myself, I've been at Blue 10 years now, so I've been lucky enough to actually have heard a couple of times some of the stories from WaterAid and what they've done in terms of change. And one thing that resonates with me, I think, when hearing these stories is actually how communities change and go on to thrive once WaterAid has been in and interventions happened. Not just by obviously putting in that water point and allowing clean water, but also the sanitation aspect and the education aspect that comes from that, from everyone being able to actually go on and as a community develop and thrive. And you can only do that when there's help from everyone to make it happen. So on behalf of WaterAid and Blue, I'd like to say, a big thanks to Dennis and Ron for coming and doing their story. And a huge thanks to all of you for actually being part of this and listening, because without you guys, none of this happens at all. So we can only do so much, but it is your support that makes it happen for everyone else. So thanks again. And I'm not going to keep you too long, because actually I know there's some more food coming next, despite the great food at the start. So just one last thing. There is a QR code on the table that isn't to order food. It's for reflections. So if everyone could take the time just to scan it and just give us a one-word reflection of what you thought about today, or a word that resonates with you. We're just collecting those in just to see what that feedback is. I've heard change being mentioned a lot, and thrive and various other progress. So it'd be interesting to see what all of your feedback is in the room. And yeah, hopefully we can carry on and make a difference. And final thanks go to the whole team at Cubic House for putting this on for us. The menu?
It's made of seeded paper.
Sorry. Seeded paper on the menu? Sorry.
Yeah, when Nolan's finished, I'll mention it.
Messed up. But yeah, just good. Thanks to everyone. Hope you've enjoyed the day and you enjoyed the rest of it. We do have to go out by around about 11 or just after, so that the team here can get ready for lunch service. But hope you enjoy the rest of the time here. Thanks everyone.
Thank you.
So just a quick note on the menus, they are made of seeded paper, so don't just leave them. If you take them home, tear them up, you can plant them, so you'll have, I don't know what they grow into, but you'll plant some seeds and we'll see. Well, thank you everybody. Yeah, go and sit down at your seats. Thank you so much. Honestly, you did so well, both of you.
Thank you so much.